Someone on my last video wrote that basically their relationship ended for a reason unknown to them because basically their woman switched up. Like all of a sudden things were good and then things weren't. And I'm not specifically talking to this person, but I want to talk about people in relationships who think all of a sudden their partner became somebody else, right? They morphed into something else they didn't recognize, and then the relationship had to end, right? That's what I want to talk about today. Almost always, that's horseshit. I'm just be real with you. And I'm not talking to this guy specifically who said this, but to people who think that when you are with someone, all of a sudden, they just like, the switch goes off, like the Dr. Jekyll or Mr. Hyde, the guy with the split personalities. Anybody who thinks that's what actually happens in relationships, you have not been paying attention. What I mean by that is, most of the time, the people that y'all get together with were always that. They were always, like, for women, when y'all say, my man, like, this man is lazy, he just sits around the house, doesn't do anything, he was always that. He was always that. But you didn't care about that when you got together with him. See, the way we vet people, especially spouses, it goes past spouses, but the way we vet friends, the way we vet relatives, the way we vet people in general is really, really tired. It's shit. Like, we have a terrible, terrible compass when it comes to people because we want to see the best. And what happens because of that is that when we get to spouses, we choose based on very superficial bullshit. And then we get surprised when all of a sudden that superficial bullshit doesn't eclipse everything else. It's not that man was all of a sudden, like he was a hard worker and then he became lazy. No, he was lazy, but he put up enough of a front for you to see past the laziness. Like, I've seen people say, well, this man doesn't take care of his kids. Like, I was with him, he got me pregnant, and now he doesn't take care of his kids. What was his job before you all had children? Well, he was in between jobs then. I'm sorry, what? Ma'am, he was broke when you met him. Why would you expect someone who couldn't take care of themselves to take care of not only themselves, but you and children? See, y'all think y'all could just make projects out of the people you meet and then just fix them up. That's y'all see spouses as fucking fixer-uppers. That's what y'all see it as. And not only women, men do this shit too. Y'all think y'all could turn hoes into housewives. And I see it all the fucking time. Y'all marry fucking baddies and then be like, women just ain't loyal anymore. They just be out here cheating. Motherfucker, you met her in a club. Like, what are we talking about? What are we talking about? Y'all go out, meet people at the most shittiest places. You all meet people under the shittiest circumstances and then be surprised when they revert back to those exact same circumstances. Why? You met them with their fucking cocktail dress on, their ass out, head full of makeup, trying to get attention from other men. And you're telling me that you're surprised that they didn't stay with you? Nah, we ain't doing that. We are not doing that. I'm specifically talking to the people right now who don't vet spouses well, who don't vet people well. We got to get better at first holding ourselves accountable so that we can hold the people that we want to come into our lives accountable. You cannot look around, see someone that you think looks good, and then ignore everything else. But too often, we define love as very superficial things. We define it as they're attractive to me, they make me feel good when I'm with them, and I get what I need from them in the moment. We rarely, how often have you heard people define whether or not they love their spouse as what they will be as a parent? See, what's crazy to me is that y'all will have children with people with no thought for the future, and then be shocked that person ain't a good parent. They never showed any signs of being a good parent, ever. And I'm not saying that if you meet somebody down on their luck that they're not worth dating. That's not the case. When my wife met me, I wasn't a perfect man. I wasn't anything close. But I still showed signs that as a person, I was a good human being. I could get through to her, at least, that I had aspirations bigger than where my circumstances were, and that I was working towards making that happen. If you encounter people who give you no evidence that anything better is on the horizon, stop fucking dealing with them. Stop letting desires, lust, sex determine who you end up with. And then looking at the world and saying, it's so hard out here. You fucking made it hard. You made it hard by opening your legs, by taking down your pants and sticking your dick in anything that moves, and not vetting the people that you sleep with. That is on you. On you. So I have very little sympathy, be honest with y'all. I have very little sympathy when I see people say things like, oh, so-and-so like cheated on me, so-and-so left me. Like, does that happen and it's completely unwarranted sometimes? Of course it does. But often it's the fact that y'all knew who you were with. Y'all knew, you knew exactly who you were with, and you ignored all the signs. You ignored all the signs. You just said, I know he doesn't want to be a father, but fuck it, we're gonna have a kid anyway. Maybe he'll change his mind. That's what y'all do. I've seen so many women do that shit. Like, women will literally see a guy, the guy will say, I don't want to have children. And they'll be like, like, are we for real right now? Like, for real. That's what we're doing. And men will do this. They'll go, yeah, I know she be out at the club and she likes her freedom. That's what she be telling me. But listen, I just figure if I get this second job, I will provide for us, and then she'll cook and clean and she'll be with the kids. Motherfucker, she don't want that. She doesn't want it. Stop trying to fit people into boxes they don't want to be in. When people tell you what they want, when they show you who they are, believe them. I have always wanted children. Now, my wife hasn't always wanted children, but she was never saying to me, I could never be a mother. No, she was never saying that. She was very indifferent about the idea. But at no point did she come to me and was like, children? Nah, I ain't doing that. I ain't doing that. And if she did, the relationship would have ended a long fucking time ago. Because then I would have realized, hey, this person doesn't want something that's very integral to what I see my life being. But see, just like everybody else in the world, when it comes to money, when it comes to health, y'all can't tell yourselves no. And you can't tell, and because you can't tell yourselves no, y'all can't tell anybody else no either. Y'all be like, fuck it. We'll be around. We'll see how it goes. We'll see where it goes. Y'all don't date intentionally. Y'all date to fuck. That's the truth. And then you parlay that bullshit into a relationship and be like, I don't know how this got fucked. You fucked it. It was you. Congratulations. Look in the mirror. Anyway, I just wanted to get that off my chest because it's so crazy to see people, and I think we need another word for relationships that are not intentional. Like, just because you get married doesn't mean you're in a marriage. Like, I'm gonna be real with y'all. A lot of y'all are like fell into marriages, and that's not a marriage in my mind. Marriage is extremely intentional. The amount of work I've had to do before I even got fucking married and now in marriage to make sure this works, it's insane. And y'all will use the same word for y'all relationship that I use for mine and be like, sometimes it just doesn't work. No, the bullshit process that y'all go through don't work. My shit works because I'm fucking working at it every fucking day. So we need another word for whatever the hell y'all in. Situationship really ain't it, but like, fucking plan B. We should call y'all shit plan B, because that's what it was. Y'all didn't intend marriage for real. Let's just be real. A lot of y'all fall into that shit. And then you wonder, how did this happen to me? Well, I can tell you. It's because you didn't want to be with her in the first place, and she didn't want to be with you. But here y'all are, because fuck, we got pregnant because we was being stupid, and now we got to fucking explain to these children why we breaking up because we weren't supposed to be together in the first place. And that is the sad reality of most relationships that I see in America. But anyway, that's just what was on my mind after seeing some of the comments from my other video. And to the guy who left that comment, I have no idea why your relationship personally ended. Like it could have been, you could have been justified. This could not apply to you, but this is just what made me think of it. So anyway, let me know what y'all think in the comments. I'll talk to you later.